Hi friends, welcome to the Shits and Gigs podcast where we keep the vibe high, the humor gets raunchy, and things get spicy when we talk about food. I'm your host Meg Davis, and we are here for our final part of my Base Meal 101 series, and we're going to end things with elevating your salad game. Salads are a total power move because as Americans, we very much so lack those nutrients that we get from our vegetables because we simply just don't eat enough. So working a powerful salad into your day could be a huge game changer for things like your energy and just your overall well-being. You'd start to notice some of these changes, most likely in your skin. I feel like when I am off track with my veggies, my skin is absolutely terrible. So if skin is something that's really sensitive to you and a lot of the creams and those natural remedies, or not necessarily natural, but those types of things aren't working, looking at your diet is a huge piece of the puzzle, I feel. But regardless of your skin, we're going to dive into salads. But first, as always, I'll do a little weekend update. We had another fun fall weekend. It was gorgeous here in Rhode Island. It was a nice, mild 70s. I don't know why I'm going the weatherman route here. But it was a beautiful weekend, and we got to meet our friend's baby for the first time, so that was really exciting. They've been good friends of ours for probably like 7 or 8 years now. Trixie just turned 7 this week, and we actually met because of Trixie and their dog Bear. We were always just walking outside at the same time at the mills that we lived at, and we just really clicked, and that was a fun time to be alive. But our friendship has lasted outside of the mills, obviously, because we're in our own house now, and they have a beautiful home of their own. But we hadn't met their baby yet. She was born in August, so we were so excited to see them, and just, it's so crazy to see such a good, or like a close couple of ours to become parents and like go through those initial phases that we try and forget. But that was really fun. And then we had a PJ party, so that was really cool. We went to a wellness fair outside at a beautiful yoga retreat spot in Connecticut. Shoot, I wish I remembered the name off the top of my head, but I do not. I'll have to link it in the description for you because it is a little slice of magic that you totally have to check out. And the owner also has this really cute little soap shed at the end of their driveway, and she makes these beautiful natural soaps and lotions and all things like that. And it's just like you open that door and it's like this waft of amazing smells, and it's all supernatural. She makes everything herself. Very talented woman, and definitely worth checking out if you're into that stuff. It's a beautiful drive up that way also. And then I finished things off with running the Pell Bridge run, which was not in my wheelhouse of things I intended to do for myself this year. But about 4 months ago, an old friend of mine had reached out to ask if myself and this other man that we had run with wanted to do a reunion run. And I had been like doing my walking and my jogging, and I just started my weekly push where I was doing like a walk jog interval. And I was just starting to like find ways to push myself in the ways that I could. And he had reached out about doing the reunion run. I was like, you know what? It's 4 miles, which is way more than what I'm jogging at the moment, but I feel like that's something I can work up to. And they often say if you can get through half of the distance, the rest is kind of like a mental game. Obviously, as you start increasing those miles, I'm sure it takes much more than just mental to get through that, and you have to really train for it. But for something like 4 miles, if you can run the 2, you can most likely run the 4. So I was like, if I could just work towards really honing in on that 2, because that's like Cam's threshold is only so long. He can't be in the carriage for that long. Then I feel like without the carriage, I can at least double that distance, because I'm also like considering like I'm doing all my training with the stroller, which is a lot harder than just free jogging, pacing myself and focusing on breath work, which also breath work is like the key to unlock the running puzzle. If you are a person that hates running, it's most likely because you don't know how to pace yourself. Little small side chat that I had with my friend Greg, actually, that we saw this weekend. He just ran 100 miles for his birthday. He is a man of another breed. I don't know how he does it or how he can do it. I'm also going to have someone named Eric Wesolowski on in a couple weeks, and he runs hundreds of miles all of the time, all over the world. So super excited to chat with him. Just a little sneak peek for what's coming. But anyway, so going on a small tangent. This Pell Bridge run, I decided to go for it. So I just continued to do like my long walks with Cammie, and then I did my weekly push to help increase my endurance. We also have like a hill in our neighborhood, so I'd make it a point to just like go walk up that at least like once a week or twice a week as I got closer. But one thing, like right from the get-go when I decided to go for it, was like, I'm doing it for no one but myself, because I was just like finding this year I was just committed to choosing me, and kind of like unintentionally, but I feel like I lost myself in like that first year of postpartum, and I just like have been in this never-ending like evolution of self phase. So when I said yes to this, I said I'm doing it for me. I'm crossing that finish line for myself and no one else. So how can I show up for my body to prepare for like this moment, essentially? So, and also like just getting in that mindset of how can I show my body I appreciate another day, getting to navigate this like human experience that we're a part of, and like being really present to my body in that way. And life just feels like so on purpose when you take on that perspective, and it feels dark and stormy, and it feels enlightening all at the same time. But like you just come to realize, like at the end of the day, all you have is you. Like anyone could drop dead at the drop of a dime, including us. So like why waste any moments not treating yourself in a kind way, in a way that makes your experience what you want? You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you have full control over what your experience is in this lifetime when you really think about it. So you just have to decide what type of experience and feeling you want. And that's when you just come from that place, it's like so freeing. So it's just like, it makes sense like what to do next. So like if I don't want to be out of breath every time I'm walking up the stairs to my child's bedroom, I'm going to pass on that meal, that burger and fries from the drive-thru, because I know my brain knows that that meal isn't going to make these steps easier. So you really just have to start having like those types of conversations with yourself when you just get clear on what type of experience you want. Anyways, so I had no clue just saying yes to a race would unpack all of that for me, but it did. And it's been crazy bad, it's been crazy good, but I am so happy and grateful for where I'm at, and just to see where this crazy human experience takes me next. But let's dive into the real topic for tonight. Salad. We got really philosophical there. Now we're going to dive into the greens. Salads are an intriguing option because they are healthy at their core, but can very quickly become just as many calories as that burger and fries that I just brought up. So you really have to be careful about how you approach the salad game, and don't let like restaurants like marketing it just as a salad making your brain like think it's healthy for you. Because a lot of times, like Cheesecake Factory, I'll never forget. We had a gift card, so we went to the Cheesecake Factory. You typically wouldn't go otherwise because the quality is not what I enjoy. But anyways, we had the gift card and we were balling on a budget, so we went, and I'll never forget that I saw a salad that was more calories than a burger and fry combo. And I was like, how is this a thing? And how is this allowed? How are people still ordering this, not realizing this thing, like all of the calories are listed? I don't know. It blew my mind that it was more than the burger and fries. So we're going to dive into how you can feel confident in making and or ordering a salad on the go, and in a way that you make sure you're actually reaping all the benefits from that salad and not drowning them out in a hefty layer of that zesty ranch. We all know ranch is the superior dressing, and I'm not going to tell you to cut out ranch because that is inhumane. So let's start with dressing. When it comes to dressing, most dressings are suggested like a 2 tablespoon serving. So that's something to be mindful of, because a lot of times dressings that you order out probably have close to 4 tablespoons of dressing. So it's double the amount of calories and double the amount of the serving that you actually need or could enjoy. So one power move, especially if you're obviously not making it at home and have control over the dressing yourself, is to have the dressing always ordered on the side. And then little side note, you can always do the fork dip rule, where you dip your fork in the dressing first and then you fork, I don't know how to say this, you fork your other ingredients. You pick up your other ingredients with your fork that already has dressing on it. So then you're getting that bite of dressing or you're getting that taste of dressing with every bite without being concerned about how much you're drizzling on or if it's evenly dispersed. Everyone does their salad differently, but that's an option. But asking for your dressing on the side, huge power move. If you're making it at home, actually measure it out, because until you know and can visualize what that 2 tablespoons looks like, you're not going to know. So use a spoon for a couple weeks and then notice what it looks like when you drizzle it on. What type of circumference area on your salad. I'm getting technical here, but just take notice and be present to the amount that is on the salad after you measure it out and pour it on, you know what I mean? And then you just start to build that trust after measuring it so many times, okay, I think I can eyeball this now and I don't have to break out the spoon every time or whatever. But when it comes to dressing, like I said, with macro counting, nothing is technically off limits. So if you enjoy a ranch, go for the ranch and just measure it out. Portion control is everything when it comes to dressing. But obviously, when you go into planning out your salad, take a look at your day. Notice what macros you need, and then pick and piecemeal your salad according to that. What feels aligned, what's going to fuel your body. So for dressing, portion control is big, and then you also have to be mindful of fat and sugars in dressing. This is an item that can either skew your fats really high or your sugars really high very quickly, because the quality of dressings that are available to us are subpar. So you really got to pay attention to that. And honestly, even some of the healthier ingredient-based options are just naturally higher in fat because they're using those wholesome ingredients like olive oil, or avocado oil is a new base that is out there. But yeah, so just be mindful of fat and sugars when it comes to your dressing and portion control. And then next up, one way that your salad can get out of hand is the cheese. And I'm not going to tell you to eliminate cheese because that is also inhumane. I have cheese at least once or twice a day. Cheese, again, is all about portion control and also paying attention to the quality of your cheese. Make sure there's no weird additives. And this is something you also have to be mindful as far as it being a high-fat item. Not all cheese is unhealthy fat, but it is higher in fat, so you just have to be mindful of that. It can come shredded, crumbled. You can cut it into blocks on your salad. It kind of depends on what texture you're going for. And a major life hack when it comes to salads is using fat-free feta. This is key unlocked. It's all the cheese, but none of the fat. And it just does it for me. It's kind of a very basic taste, so it just blends with a lot of different styles of salads that you can do. So fat-free feta is where it's at typically for me. Sometimes I'll break out a shredded cheddar, but it's almost always fat-free feta because I'm usually right on point with my fats for my day and I need that boost in protein. And I just can't have a salad without cheese. It's unnatural for me. So fat-free feta is my go-to. And now let's pivot to proteins, because unless you're just having a salad for a little snacky or the boost in nutrients from all those vegetables and things, adding in a protein always is what I typically recommend, because working in protein throughout your day allows your metabolism to stay active and it just keeps you full longer. So you'll just feel more satisfied from your salad if there's some protein involved. So with this, you want to just try and go as natural as possible. If your main intention is reaping all the benefits from every ingredient, go as natural as you can. Do something like grilled chicken, steak, tuna, shrimp. Some people do tofu. I'm not a huge fan of the tofu, but it's an option. And obviously, if it fits, it sits, guys. So if you have the fats and the carbs to spare, go for the chicken tendies. Make your heart happy and do that for yourself. But if you when you're going into your salad and planning it into your day, if you don't have that to spare, like, sorry, you don't get the tendies. Like, you just got to pick and choose what you really want and what you're really craving that day, and just prioritize that and then work your day around it. So proteins, lots of different options. Obviously, make sure all your meats are fully cooked before your salad, because it's not like you're going to go microwave your salad. So that's a big thing. And then greens. Let's dive into the greens. This is like the powerhouse of the salad. I personally loved the mixed greens, especially the little reds and little greens by Little Leaf specifically. It's like literally the only salad I will buy outside of like the salad kits, because those are just easy. But if I'm home making a salad, it will have nothing but that Little Leaf on the bottom. We had switched to Aldi's for a little bit. I might dabble there still, but I found I'm a Market Basket hoe at heart. So we are back at the basket, and my heart is so happy about it. Just trying to be more mindful of pricing and stuff, because we are still balling on a budget, but Market Basket does have some great prices. I just have to be a little more mindful as well. But yeah, mixed greens are an option. Butter lettuce, if you're like toe dipping into the salad game and it's not your favorite, this is a great option because it just provides that crunch and it kind of tastes like you're eating nothing. Unfortunately, because it tastes like nothing, I'm assuming, or I know for a fact, it's like just primarily water-based. So you're not going to get a lot of the antioxidants and things that out of this butter lettuce versus like the darker leafy greens. But you know what? If it gets you to try something new and it gets you excited about eating a salad, use the butter lettuce. If you want some spice and some like flavor add, you could use arugula. It's also very crunchy. You could use spinach or kale if you're going for something hearty and you like really want those like intense vitamin boosts. Veggie spirals and ribbons if you're feeling fancy and you want a little crunch. Just like a lot of different, like salad doesn't just have to be like lettuce. It can be, you can base it with really any vegetable you want. But we've done like the ribbons and the spirals before, and that's been very yummy, especially in the summertime. It's kind of like a veggie pasta salad in a way. And then let's chat add-ons. Add-ons are also where it can get a little sketchy as far as adding in your calories. So some low or no cal options are like your fruits and vegetables. So if you want to add in like berries or just literally any other vegetable, those are things that will boost your calories just a little bit, but it'll also provide so many other nutrients. It's just like loaded on, and however many makes your heart happy, go for it. And then if you want some crunch, you can add in some nuts. There's croutons, tortilla strips, Asian crisps. Things you just want to be aware of with these add-ons are, again, fats and carbs can tend to be a little high in some of these items naturally. So you just want to be mindful if that's something you can work into your day. Dried fruit is awesome. I love doing dried craisins with like a fall salad. Do a little like roasted butternut and some goat cheese. So good. But be mindful of sugars because all fruit is sugar at the core. But with dried fruit specifically, you want to make sure you're paying attention to added sugar. I am an absolute slut for dried mango, but it is so hard to find a good one that is just strictly dried mango, which mango itself is already kind of high in sugar naturally. So like that's something I have to kind of be mindful of. But the dried mango, there's like 11 plus grams of sugar added sometimes, which is terrible. So something to be mindful for sure when it comes to dried fruit. And then it's now trending to add pasta and rice to your salad. Very interesting ad, but a lot of times people aren't eating enough carbs, but salad is kind of like a safe, healthy step option for people. So if they can then add the carb to the salad, it's like maybe an easier baby step for them than just having like a pasta dish. So this is a really cool option that you can add just for a different texture profile and boosting those carbs that you might be lacking. And then one that I always love adding is like a boiled egg. This is a hearty option to help boost the protein, and it will also boost your fats. But if it's kind of a basic salad and you add this on, it kind of will sustain you a little longer than just the lettuce and the vegetables. All right, let's wrap up the salad game. I crafted up just a couple combos for you guys as far as flavor profiles go. first things first, we love a Greek salad. We'll do that fat-free feta with some Kamada olives, banana or peppadew peppers, depending on what type of pepper vibe you want. Chop red onion, and then we usually will do a Greek or balsamic dressing to go along with that. Next up, we have Italian. This one is naturally, think like Italian sub, but salad. So going to be a little high in fat, so you have to plan ahead for this one if you're craving it, but you can do things like the cubed cheese, banana peppers. You could use probably I would say 2 different meats if you want to keep that fat to protein ratio balanced. And then olives, like black olives is another fun add-on for that option. Asian style salad, edamame, green onion, cabbage is usually a fun base instead of a lettuce for the Asian salads. Those Asian crunchy things, I think they're wonton crisps. I think that's the word, wonton crisps. And then a sesame dressing, ginger sesame, so good. And the last one I crafted up was a Mexican style. I'm all about Mexican whenever I can squeeze it in. So using either shredded cheddar or cojita cheese is delicious with either roasted corn from the can or the freezer, whichever one. And then the tortilla strips are super yummy for adding some crunch. And then you can craft up your own dressing by using just a Greek yogurt. You could choose to do whatever fat content you want. And then stir in some taco seasoning. And it's you're getting that sour cream vibe. But it's a lot healthier for you because it's the Greek dressing, or the Greek yogurt rather. And you're getting that extra taco seasoning taste from obviously stirring it in. So super fun option. You can also add, I wrote down fire roasted tomatoes or peppers on top. That would also taste so yum with all of those options. The possibilities are honestly endless when it comes to salad. It's all, again, just ensuring you're not drowning out all the benefits with these heavier options. It's a lot of portion control, not necessarily cutting things out, but just being mindful, again, of what you're adding onto your salad. Because if you add too much, you're not gonna reap those benefits that you could. But like I mentioned, just start by recognizing the gaps that you need to fill in your day and go from there. You can do hard things. Let's wrap this salad-heavy episode up with a wellness mocktail. It is officially 6th season. My husband woke up with the chills yesterday. Luckily, he recovered strong. He's already feeling much better. However, I didn't want to take any chances, so I dove into our immunity available at Elevated. We're there Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 2:30. Saturdays, 8 to 1. Sundays are for family. But we have our immunity on the menu because it is that time of year. We changed it up a little this year. We have our new passion fruit hibiscus tea. It's an NRG, Nature's Raw Guarana based tea. So it's a nice gentle energy boost, and it's also great for increasing your mental alertness. So we do half a teaspoon of that. It's a nice fruity, florally, not too florally though. I'm not a huge flower drink person. But it's a nice balanced out, refreshing vibe by itself. And then we have been stirring in the newer vegan immune support. And this is kind of a fruity vibe. It has things like the elderberry, I always say this wrong, acerola cherry, reishi mushrooms, vitamin C and D, and a nice zinc boost, which are all immune system powerhouses. So if you're looking for a yummy way to nourish your immune system, definitely try and swing by and give this a try. Or if you want me to price it out for you, feel free to message me at megdavis.healthcoach on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. Toodles.